Hi and welcome back to the Docentric Advanced Functional Training series. In this video, we will explain what our user-defined labels are, what their purpose is, and how to create them. If you're dealing with multilingual reports, then this is a must-have feature for you. Stay with me to learn more about it. But if you care only about reports in one language, then feel free to skip this video. As you know, the system labels that exist in the standard D365 F&O can only be maintained by developers. Docentric user-defined labels allow the non-developers to add and modify the labels through the user interface. These labels you can then use in Docentric templates and in Docentric print destinations along with the system labels. You will start by first specifying the languages in which you want to maintain the translations of your user-defined labels. This will help you to focus only on the important things. Now we are ready to create our user-defined labels. I will add one and give it the ID label for video training. I will start with the prefix UD as for user-defined so that I can separate it from the system labels. As soon as I save this new label, its global label ID gets automatically populated. It is the same as the label ID with the @dots_label column prefix. We will use the global ID as we see it here in Docentric templates. And in Docentric print destinations, we will also need to add an @ suffix. If you plan to have many labels, it would make sense to put them into different groups, for example, based on the report where you plan to apply them. I will leave the group empty. You can also use the comment field to give some extra explanation to your colleagues about the purpose of this label. Now we need to add the translation records. We can click the Add button and we get a drop dialog with all the previously specified languages. We can select some or all of them. And add translations. We got the empty translation records, where we can now enter the translations. I will put the English translation here. And with a little help of Google Translation, here are the translations in Spanish and Italian language. For now, I'm not sure about the German translation, so I will leave it empty. Let's look at our user-defined labels in the list view. We can get a quick overview of all translations in a selected language by changing this filter. We can also filter only the labels that have or don't have translations in specified language. If we apply this label in some report and print a document with German runtime language, we will get an empty translation as a result. This won't look great, so what can we do about it until we get the translation fixed? A fallback translation will help us. If we enable it and provide some fallback translation, for example, the same text as for the English translation or any other text, then it will be used instead of the missing translations. I will put this fallback translation for our training. Let's quickly check in our list view the result this will produce. This will be much better. Let's see what else can we do in this form. For example, if we start operating in one more language, let's say French, we will first add it to the supported languages. We can open the languages form directly from here by going to Related Data, Label Languages. Now when we are back, we can add the translations for French language in bulk to all user-defined labels. We select them all and click Add for Language and select French. If we check our label for video training, it now has also the empty French language translation, but now we have the fallback translation enabled, so there will be some result better than empty string until we enter the French translation. This detail view is by label. We see the available user-defined labels on the left side and translations in different languages here below. We can switch to the view by language to get the list of languages on the left side and all labels with their translations in the selected language. Finally, we can also click the View All button to see a flat view with all translations for all user-defined labels and all languages. We can go back to detail views by label or by language by clicking these two buttons. In this video, we introduced the Docentric user-defined labels. We saw how to maintain them, and in the next video we will see how to apply them.